Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to Dramatical Murder. We're in a security. Okay, we're in the top floor of the tower inside Platinum Jail. There's a very scary-looking dog monster thing. Noiz is being Noiz, because of course he is, and he is going to run and maybe try to punch the machine dog security guy. So security dogs, we're just gonna go with that. As I watch, he pulls a cube from his waist and thrusts it into the dog's mouth. Okay, not a punch, but I like where this is going. A moment later, clouds of smoke pour from the creature's maw. Its front legs jerk and wobble, and then it collapses. Did he just clog the barrel with a cube and cause it to backfire? Probably. That would be the best scenario. That was completely insane. If he'd been a second too late, he never learns, does he? Still, there's no denying that he saved our asses. Exactly. But the reprieve is brief, because here comes 7 more dogs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I was so close. Another dog, just like the first one, appears at the end of the hall. No, not one, several. I can run, but what about you, sir? So, we're gonna run, hide. Okay, holding my aching side, I run down the hall beside Noiz. We find a door with a small glass window and peer inside. It looks like a storage room. More importantly, it's empty. We slip into the room and hide ourselves between the neatly organized shelves. Hiding our breath, we listen closely for any sound from outside. And amid the tension, I can barely hear the sound. I can just barely hear the sound of the dog's footsteps. The footsteps reach the door and then stop. After a few moments, they start again, this time moving away. Thank goodness machines can't smell. I let out a heavy sigh of relief. I look at Noiz. He's staring into space as if searching for an answer to some question. What don't you get? He turns to me. His stare is so piercing I have to shrink back. So fucking help me, if this has to deal with me pushing you out of the way of the laser. He looks angry, he looks unhappy. I'm gonna go with he looks unhappy. I don't think he looks angry about this. He's probably just unhappy. I've gotten to learn how his face looks when he's unhappy. I agree. If you're gonna say something, say it. Noiz suddenly reaches out to touch my burn on the side. Touch the burn that's on my side. I jerk away, but it still hurts. Noiz looks at me with disdain. Yeah, I think it was worth it. Everybody, welcome to the game show of Noiz doesn't understand feelings. Let's spin the wheel and see exactly what it lands on. It lands on he fucking still doesn't know feelings. This again. Yeah. The big... But it didn't. We're still here. Aoba agrees. Good. No, we don't got a death wish or something. We were trying to protect you. Aoba's got a point. Do you care if you die? Nope. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That. You know what? That checks out. He has like a high pain tolerance anyway, so that makes sense. The blood rushes to my head in an instant. Before I can stop, I've punched Noiz square in the face. just immediately punched him. I look at my fist, then at Noiz's face, shocked. His cheek is red, and a trickle of blood is leaking from the corner of his mouth. Shit. He smirks as he licks the blood from his lip. Oh, now he wants to fight. Heat explodes as my cheek as Noiz returns the punch. We're just gonna keep fucking punching. Sometimes you gotta duke them out. It's like sometimes two brothers gotta fight, except these two aren't brothers, so they still gotta fight though. Look, boys. We have more important things to do right now than fight each other. We exchange punches again and again until finally he pushes me to the floor and mounts me. His knee presses against the burn on my side. He squeezes his legs tighter around me. The little shit is doing it on purpose. Incensed by the pain, I pull my leg up and knee him in the crotch as hard as I can. There you go, Aoba. Just bam. I quickly glance up at Noi's face. He's just looking down at me completely calm. His face is swollen from my punches too, but he hardly seems to notice. No, just Aoba, we learned already that if you can bite it, probably kneeing it's probably not going to do anything. Noiz doesn't say a word. His face doesn't betray anything either. Man, he was like this last time too. He didn't seem to notice when he burned his hand on the coffee. Or the whole other thing. At first I thought it was just acting tough, or maybe that he really has a high pain tolerance. But this, no one could ignore getting kneed into the balls. Plus, he was hitting me back. I don't really feel any anger from him. Normally I expect him to feel rage or something, but there isn't any of that with Noiz. He never hesitates either. His behavior is almost mechanical. Noiz glares at me icily. His voice is colder than I've ever heard it before. Oh cool, he just doesn't feel pain at all. It's like being wrapped in a thick layer of rubber. I mean, that's good and bad. Being able to feel pain is very important because, like, that's your body's receptor to tell you, like, hey, you probably should stop doing what you're doing so you can, like, you know, save your life and stuff like that. Well, yeah, but you could have told me that you don't feel pain and we would have totally, like, dealt with that. They're not to get, dumbass. I interrupt Noiz with a light slap across the cheek. At first, I was surprised to hear that he couldn't feel pain, so surprised that it took me some time to understand, but as I listened to Noiz describe it so calmly, I started to feel sad. He can't feel pain, can't understand pain. Because of that, what else can't he understand? Pain is how people come to understand each other. Hurting others, being hurt in turn, through pain, through reflecting on what causes pain, we learn how better to interact, be better to solve our problems. That makes perfect sense. That's how, like, empathy and stuff, that, like, being able to feel pain is important, especially if it's, like, well, physical pain, yes. I still wonder if can he feel emotional pain? But he can't do that, can he? I assume he can because he gets angry. Because he can't feel pain, he can't understand the pain of others. That's why my actions are so mysterious to him. Someone helping him purely out of concern without any ulterior motive. That's beyond what he can imagine. In his mind, there has to be a reason. No wonder he assumed I was after his body and stuff. It makes him almost childlike. Aoba's got a point. Aoba's got a lot of points. Yeah, you gonna say something back? No, no, no.
そういう言い方やめろ。
That's not why.
違うから。なんで助けたんだって言われたら、お前を納得させる言葉がなかなか見つかんねえんだけど、とにかく助けたかったんだよ。だから手当てもするし、かばうし。意味わかんねえ。人間なんて意味わかんねえことだらけだろ。お前は痛くないから平気なんだろうけど、俺が嫌なんだよ。
Yeah,
だから勝手にいろいろやる。
this makes sense. Like he's making perfect sense. People don't make sense. You don't have to have a reason for everything. Some things in life are illogical. That's why there's logical and illogical things.
バカ。お前に言われたくねえし。
Aoba has a point there too.
見返りがないなら損するだけだし。いいんだよ。俺は損だと思ってねえんだから。つまり、ある意味では俺も自分勝手なんだよ。俺がやりたいことをお前に押し付けてるんだから。
Yeah, so technically he is getting something out of it. He's getting his own satisfaction of helping because he does what he wants.
やめろっつったら。やめない。
I don't give a shit what you want. Great response. In fact, I'll do it more if you complain, because that's just how we are.
それがうぜえなら少しは俺の言うこと聞け。そうしたら俺も考える。だからお前ももっと俺のこと考えろ。
It's very... Yeah, yeah, uh-huh. Noiz goes silent. I quickly grow restless, wondering if I said something strange.
今結構おかしいこと言ってる自覚ある？面と向かって俺のこと考えろとかさ、そういうの恥ずかしげもなく堂々と言うやつ初めて見た。
Well, I'm sorry. We said it with a straight face, or at least some point of the rainbow spectrum type of face. Maybe not straight in this case, because, you know, the whole thing that happened last night. Anywho, don't want to ruin the moment or anything. It did sound pretty corny. I turn away, my face suddenly on fire.
赤いけど。うるせえな。でも、まあさっきも言ったけど、そこまで俺に介入してくるやつはあんたが初めてだ。
Well, Aoba isn't just no one to me.
今までは嫌われて遠ざけられるか、体が金目当てで寄ってくるかのどっちかだったから。
I turn back to him. His voice is softer than before, and where before his expression was flat and robotic, now it is tinged with confusion, aka he cares about this conversation.
体が金目当てってなんだよ。そのまんま。
Oh, he's a rich boy. I mean, that comes with... You know what? That's just a side benefit.
金持ちなのか？親はな。でも俺はそういう奴らにつか他人に興味ねえし。だからちょっと乱暴にするとすぐ問題になった。問題になるのはガキの頃からだったけど、痛みがわかんねえから相手を傷つけてもわかんねえ。
That makes sense as well. If you don't feel pain, you can't, like, take back... Like, you can just fight forever. I mean, until you die, technically, but, like, you could just keep fighting, and you won't know when to stop, because there wouldn't be a receptor go into your brain saying, hey, you should probably stop now.
それで泣かせたガキの親がよくうちに怒鳴り込んできて、両親が俺は家の恥だって言ってさ、誰にも関わるなって部屋に閉じ込められたし。
Which means that he probably doesn't have many social interactions, probably not good with, like, social cues and stuff. You know, the whole me trying to be empathetic, sympathetic, all that other crap.
下手に金があるから、便所も風呂も完備された部屋を作って、そこに入れられてさ。それ以外は誰も会いに来ねえし、怪我とかしても自分で処置してたし。初めのうちは寂しくて泣いてたけど、だんだん一人でいろいろできるようになってきてさ。そしたら一人でも余裕で生きていけるって思って。それは
All this Noiz backstory we're getting. I mean, if I'd grown up in circumstances like his, I'd probably have turned out the same way. Forced to live alone and no one to call a friend. Eventually, you'd get used to living like that, you wouldn't even question why. Noiz speaks about it as very matter-of-factly now, but he must have suffered horribly when he was a child. After being treated like that by your parents, you'd have to convince yourself you were fine being just alone to survive.
聞きたいんだけど、もし仮に俺があんたのことを考えるようになったとしたら、俺に何か得はあるの？
If hypothetically I were to consider your feelings, what would I get out of it? The satisfaction of... I don't know.
まず、
Yeah, you...
その損だの得だのいう考え方を捨てろ。でもま、損はさせねえよ。
I'll make sure you're satisfied.
そんなのねえし。
Nope, nothing to back it up with. I wrap my arm around his head and pull him into my chest.
おい。いいから。
Shut up and behave. He resists at first, but after a bit, he gives up and awkwardly leans into me. His head firmly, I hold his head firmly to my chest. Perhaps my warmth will say what my words can't. When I was a kid and I'd start to cry, Granny would always do this for me. I'd feel her warmth, and before I knew it, I would be calm. Maybe it'll work on him. I mean, he's never really felt warmth, right?
俺がお前に一つだけ教えられるのはさ、多分お前が思ってるほどこの世界は悪くないってことだな。俺はそもそも世の中がどうとか思ってない。
He doesn't care what the
そ
world.
れはお前が知らないだけだろ。お前すげえたくさん知らないことあるんだから。
That's the whole reason that he doesn't know about food, because he was locked in his room. Oh, it makes sense now. I just had a little light bulb popped off in my head right there. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of crap you don't know because you were locked away.
知る必要あるの？
Because it's fun to know things.
知らないよりは知っといた方が得だろ。お前の言い方に合わせて。
Also, you would gain knowledge. That makes sense.
じゃあ、具体的にあんたがそれを教えてくれるのか？
I look at Noiz a little surprised. I never imagined hearing something like that from his mouth. Feeling a gentle warmth come over me, I squeeze his head a little tighter.
そうだな。お前が俺のことをもうちょっと考えるようになって、無茶やったりしないって約束するならな。ほら、何しろ俺の
I am. Oh, don't use the age card, sir.
そういうのはうぜえな。
I can't help but smile. I feel like I finally understand Noiz a little, and that makes me happy. I take my hand off of his head as he sits up on the floor. I sit up too and lean my back against a nearby shelf.
約束してくれんのか？そんなのわかんねえし、知らねえし。気が向いたらな。
I'm taking that as a yes.
それじゃあ、いつ教えられんのかわかんねえだろ？知らねえよ。
Well, Noiz is being stubborn isn't anything new. Still, it is just me, or is he suddenly avoiding eye contact? Wait, is he embarrassed? Maybe he really did hear some of what I said. I mean, it's always time for flirting, sir, especially with Mr. Flirt Aoba and me. Mostly Aoba. I was just here hitting a button, reading the conversation. I'm like a weird little fairy that's just like behind him, just always being like, hello, hey, I'm here, just shh, I want to see what's happening. Oh yes, Aoba, switch it to the hack. We gotta figure that out. Great, 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 great. A spike of pain in my side makes me wince. I'd forgotten it while we were arguing, but now the pain comes rushing back. The wound throbs, almost like my heart has taken up residence in the spot. Noiz stands up and takes a look at the wound. I mean, we're in a closet. We're basically in like a filing. I'm just looking around. Those look like filing cabinet type things. So like, I don't think there's a first aid nearby. I look up at Noiz astonished while I answer. He's concerned about me?
何か手当てできるもの
Noiz starts rummaging through his pockets. After a moment, he pulls out a white handkerchief.
なんでお前がそんなもんガキの頃の習慣が抜けねえんだよ
Noiz shoots me a glare. Right, Noiz comes from a rich family, so he had a pretty high-class upbringing. But still, a white handkerchief, that's kinda cute.
なんだようるせえな
He grumpily shoves the handkerchief back into his pocket.
使えそうなのがねえ
Yeah,
な大丈夫このくらいの
yeah, we're just gonna have to deal with it. I stand, fighting the pain, and try to walk. But,
言いたいのか
yeah, definitely hurts.
ちょっとやっぱりなんか探してくるでも危ないだろさっきのオールメイトもいるかもしれないしなんとかなる
Well, that was weird. My whole computer just was like, no, thank you. You didn't miss much. I realized it like 5 minutes after it happened. So let's go ahead and I'm going to finish at least the rest of this episode. I stand fighting the pain and try to walk, but
言いたいのかちょっと
yeah, it hurts a bit. We've got a whole burn happening here.
でも危ないだろなんとかなるあんたはここで待ってろ一応こいつ置いていくから何かあったらこの目のとこを押せ
Anything here is press the eye. I mean, he's going to probably give us one of the cubes. Yeah, he gives us one of the cubes. I do remember that because I did get to at least 1 minute ahead before I saw that the screen broke. Just as he gets to the door, he looks back. He suddenly reaches out and pulls my head towards him, and then our lips touch. And he licks me. But it's still funny, even if I already saw it, because he basically went up to him and just Yoshi'd him, was like, nom. It makes sense, though. That's the only place he could feel, so I guess he really wanted to, like, feel Aoba. With that, Noiz leaves the room, and his expression never changes. After he's gone, I let out a bashful sigh. Sometimes it feels like I'm letting him lead me around by the nose. Not that I really mind. I sit back down on the floor, shielding my wounded flank as I lean against a shelf. I hope Noiz is okay. We're smack in the middle of enemy territory. I don't care how strong he is, I'm still worried about him. My burn stings, almost as if it were resonating with my fears.
帰ってこいよ
I squeeze the cube tight, praying for a safe return, and this is the point. I have no idea what happens next, because this is when I found out that my recording was messed up. 30 minutes have passed. Okay, never mind, something's wrong. And Noiz hasn't returned. Something's wrong. That's exactly what I just said. Something must have happened. Maybe someone caught him. I don't want to be a pessimist, but no matter how confident Noiz is, I can't ignore the possibility. Maybe I should... Well, that ain't good. I don't know what, but something's happening. I have to find Noiz. After glancing at the cube in my hand, I stand up slowly, using the shelf for support. The burn on my side hurts like hell, but I can't let that stop me. I open my bag and wake up Ren.
ちょっとめんどくさいことになった俺も結構やばいからサポート頼む大丈夫かとはちょっと言えないけど頑張るしかねえな
Yeah, we're just gonna have to go and hopefully don't run into one of those scary doggos. I leave the room clutching my side, walking as fast as I can manage. Out in the hall, the alarm is even louder. I can hear some kind of rumbling in the distance, probably the hallways being sealed or whatever. Is Noiz even still on this floor? I can't put the cube in the palm of my hand. Wait, I put the cube in the palm of my hand and press the eye like Noiz said. Yeah, tell me if Noiz is here.
ドイツはこのフロアにいるか
Damn, no he's not. Okay, that ain't good. I guess I should try heading up for now. Uh-oh, it's a doggo, isn't it? Oh, it's a doggo. At least his face isn't like exploded or whatever. I spin around and to see one of those dog all-mates just standing there. If it hits me with that beam, I'm done for. I take off running down the hall, the pain in my side forgotten. I hear the dog's footsteps coming after me. I need somewhere to hide. I dash frantically down the hall. There, an elevator. I throw myself at the door and smash the call button. Hurry, hurry. The door opens and I jump inside. The last thing I see before the door closes is the all-mates' jaws open wide. I'm safe. I press the button for the top floor. not really knowing where we're going when we get there, but whatever. After a short trip, the elevator stops and the door starts to open, but just as I'm about to step out, I freeze. Oh, it's another one of those doggos! Another one. And this time, its mouth is already open, the barrel of the gun pointing straight at me. What to do? A memory flashes through my head. Just before it fires, I throw the cube Noiz gave me straight into the dog's mouth. I hear a muffled explosion, and then the dog takes a few steps back, legs twitching. It struggles for a bit, smoke pouring from its mouth, but eventually it collapses. Did it work? I approach the dog to see. Yeah, it looks dead. Just poke it with a stick. Noiz cube is on the floor next to it. Its eyes lights are blinking. When I pick it up, it starts talking. Unit 24. That's not good. That's probably like the name of itself. Looks like it broke when the beam discharged. Near Unit 58. Good. We know where he is. We need to find Unit 58. This level, large room in the middle, 83, deteriorating. What does 83 mean? As I watch the lights in its eyes dim, then go dark, it used the last of its energy to deliver its message. Now we're gonna go find Noiz. I put the cube in my jacket pocket, then slip past the dog all might and head towards the hallway. Noiz is in a large room in the middle of this floor. I have to hurry. My side still hurts, but I have more pressing concerns. Yeah, like, is Noiz okay? After walking for a bit, I reach the door at the end of the hallway. It's much more elaborate than the others. Is this the place? That's a fancy-ass door right there. I run up to the door. White walls, a white floor, and a white ceiling. Is this Tui's room the one Noiz mentioned?
Noiz?
He's safe. I can't help but smile. It's such a relief to see him unhurt. No, things aren't okay. Look at his eyes. I start to approach him, but stop only after a few steps. Something's wrong. Noiz just stands there watching me. Oh, they mind-fucked him too. His eyes are cold, hard, robotic. Yeah, they got to him. Here it comes. Oh god, what's gonna happen? You know what? This is the place where I'm going to... First of all, I'm gonna do that before I lose the footage. And secondly, next time, I guess we're gonna have to somehow save Noiz. Oh man, I don't know how that's gonna happen. Goodbye, everybody.